Coming up next, how the controversy over a Native American school mascot is part of Election Day in Bellefonte.
Plus, heating prices may take a big jump this winter, causing trouble for local families.
Really, we live in a very old house, so we cannot change the heating system in there at all without putting over $20,000 in a new heating system.
And will Penn State loosen COVID restrictions now that cases are dropping? We talk with the university's second-ranking official. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon. I'm Angelica Singer.
And I'm Derek Hyde. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story today is Pennsylvania's Municipal Election Day. There are no federal or state offices on the ballot, but there are plenty of local races. Polls have been open since 7 a.m. across the state. Reporter Riley Curry is live at a polling place in State College. Riley?
Thanks, Derek. I'm standing in front of the Borough Administration Building, which is being used as a local polling site for today's election. Although voter turnout seems to be pretty light thus far. Among the many races that are being decided today, from school board elections to township boroughs to township supervisors, the State College residents will elect a new mayor. Although this is just a formality because Ezra Naines is the only name on the ballot. I spoke with election officials who says that even though this isn't a high-profile race, it is still very important to vote.
Important things such as education, environmental issues. These issues touch our lives, and it's so important to have us not only turn out in the elections where the president's on the ballot or the governor's on the ballot, but when these really important races that affect our local communities are on the ballot.
Open until 8 p.m. tonight. Live from State College, I'm Riley Curry. Now back to you.
Thanks, Riley. Among the races on today's ballot is a hotly contested school board election in Bellefonte, with 6 candidates aiming for 4 open seats. One of the area's most heated election races is for Bellefonte School Board. President John Gazar, Jeffrey Steiner, Jack Beckdahl, and Andrea Royer make up the Win for Bellefonte team. Their opposition is current board member Rodney Musser and Jordan Emily, both Democrats. Among the issues making news, elementary school renovation, pandemic teaching, and the high school mascot. While the board decided to change Bellefonte's mascot, the Red Raiders, back in April, candidate Jordan Emily fears the decision could be revisited if Win for Bellefonte's campaign is successful.
The more that we need to respect our tradition, they're saying, let's bring the Red Raiders back.
Gazar said the Native American mascot is not appropriate, and he voted for the change. But the Win for Bellefonte group's website says they stand with Rochelle. Rochelle Edmiston was a Bellefonte alum and a Native American who was in favor of keeping the Red Raider nickname to honor her heritage. She died in July. Beckdahl is also an administrator for the Keep the Red Raiders logo Facebook page, and Steiner voted against the change.
I think there's a strong population that still thinks that they could change the mascot back if they get the right people on the school board.
Katie Mussett is a Bellefonte grad.
Even if you walk through Bellefonte, people with the Keep the Red Raider sign also have the Win for Bellefonte sign in their yard.
Rodney Musser led the campaign to change the mascot, despite many residents not in favor of it, like Barbara Harder.
They are taking on an issue that is really meaningful to people that have been born and raised around here.
She says some candidates want to replace some of the board members who voted for the change.
I'm thinking people are really wanting some new people on the school board, and I think that's why.
Win for Bellefonte, which could not be reached for comment on this story, says its campaign stands for excellence, pride, and tradition.
So what it comes down to essentially is all about tradition and the mascot, and I think they use the word tradition to talk about the mascot.
There's also a full slate of candidates in State College for the school board ballot there.
In other news, police are still searching for an armed robber who caused a serious scare on Halloween in State College. But cops now say they were able to track down the owner of a car seen in the area. But there's no word on any arrests yet. They say a man went into the bus station on Atherton Street, pistol whipped a clerk, stole cash, and took off. Penn State sent out an alert to thousands in the area and advised people to shelter in place. But a search for the robber turned up nothing. Police are also looking for a man they say is connected to an indecent exposure at a State College Weiss Market. It happened at the store on Rolling Ridge Drive in September. They say the suspect is an older white man, and he was last seen leaving the store in a small green sedan.
Governor Wolf's administration is offering thousands of state employees an extra 5 days of paid leave for getting fully vaccinated against COVID. Officials say 70,000 employees are eligible, and the deadline is the end of the year. Those who are already vaccinated and have verified their status will also get the extra 5 days off.
With more people getting vaccinated and lower case numbers in State College, will Penn State ease its COVID rules? Reporter Kylie Hill talked with a top university official to get an update.
It's been more than a year and a half since COVID made quarantine, Zoom, social distancing, and masking the new normal at Penn State. This fall, classes are now back in person. Cases are down, and the positivity rate has dropped to 0.6% at University Park. But don't expect restrictions to change anytime soon.
It would be really good if by the time we get to spring break of 2022, we're able to really start saying to our community, okay, COVID has transitioned really from being a pandemic to sort of just a chronic illness that we have to deal with, and we can start backing off on some of the requirements.
Although COVID cases have dropped significantly, Penn State still plans to keep the same protocols in effect to help contain the virus, like weekly testing for unvaccinated individuals. Penn State's COVID operations director says the university's vaccine mandate for employees is the right move.
The whole country needs to be moving in this direction, and a lot of entities are. And so I think people will respond positively to this, and we'll get our vaccine rates even higher than they already are here at University Park.
More than 82% of University Park employees are fully vaccinated, along with 88% of students. And Jones says that helps bring back more events like an in-person thon.
So the 1,000,001 ways that the Penn State community has come together, rolled up its sleeves, and really worked as families do.
In University Park, I'm Kylie Hill for the Center County Report.
Penn State's vaccination deadline for employees is December 8th.
With winter almost here, there's a warning for consumers. Experts say prices for heating your home could skyrocket soon. Reporter Mike Kopp explains why.
Gas, electric, propane, and heating oil prices have all jumped this year. 30% for gas and electricity, and experts say heating oil and propane could increase by more than 40% this winter.
I think that families are going to be impacted all across the country and all across the world. It's really a very scary time.
Penn State professor of energy and environmental economics, Dr. Andrew Kleitz, says demand is up, supply is down, and labor shortages have made it tougher to have enough workers to keep drilling. That means many families could be left out in the cold. That 40% price increase would make this 1,800-gallon drum of propane nearly $1,500 more expensive than last year. Heating oil user Bella Bregaro says despite the rising prices, she can't change her heating system.
We live in a very old house, so we cannot change the heating system in there at all without putting over $20,000 in a new heating system.
While families need to brace for increased prices, Kleitz says it may not be a long-term issue.
There's a lot of petroleum in the world. There's a lot of natural gas in the world. It's not a matter of physical shortage. I think this is a short-run impact.
In State College, I'm Mike Kopp for the Center County Report.
Homeowners are expected to pay an average of $746 this year, up 30% from last winter.
The week-long Center Film Festival is underway, and this year it's expanded to 3 locations. The opening night and ribbon-cutting ceremony was held last night at the State Theater. Filmmakers from around the country are here to show off their work. The events will stay in State College until tomorrow before moving to Altoona and Thursday and finishing the weekend in Phillipsburg at the Roland Theater. Still to come on the Center County Report, November is here and it feels like it. We'll check the 7-day forecast.
Plus, a look at Halloween night in our area. Also coming up, a controversial speaker is coming to Penn State and is causing heated reactions. That story after the break.
So I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
A controversial political commentator is scheduled to speak at Penn State tomorrow, and the visit is drawing lots of heated reaction. Jack McCune has the story.
Penn State says over 40,000 people visit the hub every day, which means it's a perfect place to catch eyes for advertising. And many students stared last week when they saw an ad saying, quote, "Pray the gay away." The conversion therapy event, hosted by British political speaker Milo Yiannopoulos, immediately received attention by both supporters and opponents.
Over 250 people are expected to attend the event Wednesday at 8 here at the Thomas Building, and a counter protest is going to take place at 7 right across the street in between Pollock and Shortledge Roads.
Former student Sean Semenko says he's been waiting nearly 2 years to organize the event for his organization Uncensored America, and that although it's a controversial topic, the event has every right to go on at a public university.
This is inevitable. They can't stop it. He's coming, whether they like it or not.
A conversation has started against the event as well. Penn State student Jacob Erbaker started an online petition asking President Eric Barron to cancel the event. He says the words "pray the gay away" put him over the edge.
That was honestly more infuriating for me than him coming to speak himself.
Both Semenko and Erbaker hope for peaceful protest after this altercation at a vaccine mandate protest on campus back in August.
Well, it's disgusting that because we have different opinions, it can lead to somebody getting punched.
We shouldn't be encouraging it. We need to be encouraging love and acceptance.
Barron denounced the messages of Yiannopoulos last Monday, but he also said that the show must go on, as canceling the event would be in violation of the First Amendment. In University Park, I'm Jack McCune for the Center County Report.
The event is set for 7:45 p.m. tomorrow at the Thomas Building on the University Park campus.
While COVID is still impacting our area, Halloween looked a lot different this year than last. Reporter Claire Vokey takes a look.
Family, fun, and full bags of candy. Halloween in State College felt a lot more normal than last year.
In-person trick-or-treating's back, so they're coming right up to our front doors and we're stepping out and handing candy right to them. They're saying trick-or-treat. Whereas last year during COVID, we actually put a table out about 20 yards from our front door and had pre-bagged candy for kids to just grab.
State College neighborhoods like this one might not have been as busy last year because of COVID. But this year, kids and families are out and getting their bags filled to the brim like this one.
We get to walk around and go door to door and, actually go to the door this time. And it's not, so distant. So it's nice.
Houses around this State College neighborhood were festive, with pumpkins, scary characters, and lights.
Kids even got a visit from a police officer passing out glow sticks.
Every year, the guys that are working do it, and then the department brings in a couple extra guys on overtime to pass out little glow sticks to the kids.
Fun and a return to normal after another challenging year. In State College, I'm Claire Vokey for the Center County Report.
Another Halloween event brought attention to a good cause. People came together on Sunday in support of the Acres Project. The Halloween Hustle event was hosted by Acres and the Alpha Zeta Delta sorority at Sidney Friedman Park in State College. Visitors enjoyed refreshments, games, and a costume contest for all ages. The Acres Project offers support for adults with autism at little or no cost.
So the goal is community outreach, letting people know who we are, that we're out there to help individuals on the autism spectrum, and just to have a good time. And
every penny of the admission fee for the event and the optional 5K fun run supports the Acres Project in State College.
So based on that 7-day forecast I'm going to be bringing you shortly, it looks like the heaters are going to get a good workout this week. However, they did not work that hard in October, as we saw an average temperature of 59.4 degrees, which is the new record for the highest value we've ever seen in October. We have over 125 years of data here in State College. The historical average being just under 52 degrees and a 7.6 degree difference from average. The sky condition today, not as sunny as it was yesterday. We kind of snuck in a good Monday after the weekend was pretty much a washout. So we've got currently a temperature of 45 degrees. Notice it feels like a 40 thanks to a west wind at 9 miles an hour. So any breeze making it feel a little bit cooler. Dew point at 32. It's a bit dry across Pennsylvania right now. Temperatures across Pennsylvania generally in the mid 40s. We see some low to mid 40s out west where they have the lake effect machine going right now. Upper 30s over and towards the Laurel Highlands, and a bit warmer, closer to 50 towards the Philadelphia area. Temperatures across the U.S., you can see right away in the northern plains, that's where the cold air is. It's going to be making its way here for the middle and later part of this week. And as such, we have a freeze warning in effect, especially south and east of State College. Now, notice not in effect here. We already had our growing season come to an end, but we're anticipating the growing season coming to an end in the areas highlighted in purple here tonight. And a frost advisory for areas down towards Philadelphia. Current look at radar and satellite shows some light showers in the southeast, having trouble making its way down to the ground thanks to some dry conditions, lake effect machine, some snow even in there towards the northwest. Again, having a tough time coming down thanks to these dew points. It's rather dry in the atmosphere right now. And as we time out the next day or so, model guidance is keeping the lake effect going, even showing some signs of over us, but it's just too dry. I think it's going to have trouble making it down to the ground. As we go towards the weekend, another coastal storm is going to pop up here. It should stay to our east, however, so we will remain dry from this. So for the rest of today, we'll see decreasing cloudiness as we go through the day. A light breeze, however, with a temperature of 48 degrees. As we head into tonight, we'll see some clearing. Low temperature of 31 degrees, light and variable winds as well. And as we go into the day tomorrow, we'll see scattered clouds, not as cloudy as it was today, and remaining unseasonably cool. And as we go into the 7-day forecast with the weekend in view, you could see pretty much beyond Thursday, high pressure will be in complete control. Cool conditions, but very sunny skies. A little bit warmer conditions and increase in clouds as we head towards Monday.
Thanks, Kevin. I guess we'll finally need our winter coats.
And now we'll send it off to Jack with sports.
Thanks, Derek. Next in sports, Penn State football fought hard, but came up short in Columbus against Ohio State. We look back at the Nittany Lions' third straight loss. Also coming up, some Penn State athletes turned out at Beaver Stadium for a special event for young trick-or-treaters. Sports is next.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Peter. There's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, Visit SaveTheFood.com.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
So I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
I'm Jack McCune with sports. Penn State football will try to snap a 3-game losing streak this week. That's after the Lions lost again to bitter rival Ohio State in Columbus.
A sea of red filled Ohio Stadium for the Buckeyes Scarlet Out game. Penn State got on the board first, thanks to Sean Clifford's touchdown pass to tight end Brenton Strange. But the Buckeyes then scored 17 straight points after Clifford was strip sacked and lineman Jerron Cage took it to the house. After a 17-10 halftime deficit, the Nittany Lions tied things up on a direct snap score from Jahan Dotson. After a field goal, the Buckeyes relied on running back Travion Henderson to give themselves a 27-17 lead late in the third. Penn State scored just one more time as Ohio State took the 33-24 win.
Penn State has now lost 5 straight times to Ohio State. It's clear that recently the Buckeyes have owned the Nittany Lions.
Clifford's career-high 35 passes weren't enough, as head coach James Franco noted that his quarterback's fumble and interception late in the game made the difference. And although it was a close finish, he doesn't believe in moral victories.
No, I'm glad we played hard, and I thought there was going to be a bunch of positive things off that tape to learn from and grow from, but there's some critical mistakes that we got to eliminate if we want to win consistently.
After the third straight loss, the Nittany Lions head to College Park this Saturday to play 5-3 Maryland. You can listen to the game live on Penn State Com Radio. Now to high school football. The Altoona Mountain Lions traveled to State High for both teams' last game of the regular season on Friday. It's a rivalry matchup with playoff implications. Reporter Jordan Mansberger was there.
The Little Lions and the Mountain Lions played in a swamp at Memorial Field on Friday night. State High was able to come away with the win despite the rain nullifying their passing game.
It looked like your grandfather's Big Ten here in this rainy weather at Memorial Field Friday night, but State High was still able to put up 21 unanswered points against Altoona and secure a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
Altoona struck first on their first drive of the game, capped off by a 23-yard touchdown from Andre Doak. But Altoona didn't score again as the Little Lions took over. Quarterback Owen Yurka tied the game on a quarterback keeper 1 yard out. Then senior fullback Brady Bendick tacked on another touchdown to give them a 14-7 lead at half. In the third quarter, Yurka collected his second touchdown of the game, and State High held on for the W.
I'm so proud of our kids. I think when you get to this time of year, you never know what you're going to get. If you can't run the football, it's going to be hard sledding on nights like tonight.
We're used to being down, but we never give up in any games, and we know that we're a big, explosive team in the second half, and we just never gave up hope.
The Little Lions have time to enjoy their win before they face the winner of Altoona versus Williamsport. In State College, I'm Jordan Mansberger for the Center County Report.
And our sports team will be tracking this Friday's playoff games, and you can see highlights in our high school football show after the whistle. Penn State men's hockey is back in the national rankings for the first time in almost a year after knocking off a top 10 team. The Nittany Lions beat North Dakota 6-4 on Saturday in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game in Nashville. Senior Ben Copeland secured the win with an empty net goal and his first as a Nittany Lion. This was North Dakota's first loss in a Hall of Fame game since 2001. The Lions are back on the road again this weekend at Ohio State. Local families enjoyed an early Halloween event with some Penn State athletes. Kids lined up outside Beaver Stadium for the event at the All Sports Museum. Student athletes were grouped together by team and handed out candy to the little ones. The Nittany Lion even got even put on a costume and made a special appearance.
We come because it's a wonderful event for the children and it's supporting like the athletes, and my little guy absolutely loves it. My son likes to come around and meet them, and it's going to be something we do every year.
This was the 12th annual Trick or Treat event. And congrats to Penn State men's soccer. They're Big Ten regular season champions after a win over the weekend. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Jack. Coming up next, an annual race brought together athletes from across the country, including a 101-year-old man.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without,
It's not something you buy.
or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Runners from all over the country traveled to State College over the weekend for an annual ultra marathon and relay, including a very special competitor. Grace Tomlinson explains.
Bitter wind, cold rain, but high spirits, all before the sun peeked over Rothrock State Forest. Athletes from as far away as Colorado and as close as State College laced up for the 22nd annual Tussey Mountain Back Ultra Marathon and Relay. Runners will start right here at Tussey Mountain. They'll then make their way to Whipple Dam State Park and out to Collier Lake, to finishing right where they started, back at Tussey 50 miles later. After finishing the Chicago Marathon 3 weeks ago, Charles Fremillard of Denver, Colorado finished and won his first ultramarathon with a time of 6 hours and 20 minutes.
You just have to have something that motivates you to just keep going.
The day also included a 50-mile relay where a team called Old Men of the Mountains once again took on the course. The team is led by their captain, 101-year-old George Etzweiler. Though George was resting before his race, we were able to catch up with his teammate after his leg of the run.
It's hard to explain George because it seems like he's always smiling and he's always happy.
Race organizer Mike Casper co-founded the race 22 years ago and is still inspired by people like George.
At whatever age you're at, you can start running for the first time. George was 49 when he started running.
And he's still going strong at 101 years old. In Boalsburg, I'm Grace Tomlinson for the Center County Report.
Great story. That's all for today's newscast. We'll hope you join us Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report Twitter, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page and our website. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.